there is an incredibly fast way to earn Battle Pass tokens in MW2 and Warzone that nobody is talking about. So I wanted to cover it in today's video so I can show you guys how to get Battle Pass tokens much quicker, because now that the double Battle Pass XP weekend has gone, I'm sure a lot of people are finding it quite a long and boring journey to level up the Battle Pass. It can be quite tedious and really annoying, and it can feel really slow. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it as quickly and easy as possible. This video is going to be packed full of tips, so make sure you stay tuned until the end of the video, but if you do want to jump to a specific part, there'll be timestamps in the description. Without further ado though, let's dive straight in. There's two main methods I want to talk about today. They're both in Warzone. One of them is to do with Battle Royale and one of them is to do with DMZ, but it's not as simple as just playing the game. So we're going to talk about it now, and I'm going to explain how to do it as quickly as you can. Now, before we get into that, I just wanted to mention that there is an AFK glitch where basically you can go into matches, just stay AFK, and you will earn tokens. Obviously, it won't be as fast as when you're playing the game because you're not earning XP, you're just sitting there in the game, but it still can be quite good. So if you want to learn how to do that as best and as easily as possible, check out my guide for that via the card on screen or link in the description. I explained how to do that. But if you actually want to be playing the game, actively, and want to know how best to earn tokens when you're playing the game, this is the video for you. So the first method we're talking about is Battle Royale, and then we'll talk about DMZ. So for Battle Royale, the method you want to be playing is Plunder. This has been around obviously since season 3. It's a great game mode overall for easy XP, really fast way of leveling up your tiers. I would say 15-20 minute game of Plunder can give you about 1.5 tiers of progress if you place well and play effectively in the match, which is 3 to 4 tokens per hour without double Battle Pass tokens. So it can be really fast, and I'm going to explain the strategy that you want to do now in order to earn that many tokens and get the grind done really quickly. So the first thing you want to do is you want to spawn into Plunder, and you want to quickly find an area of the map with very few players but lots of buildings and places to search for loot. So this may sound a bit weird and counterintuitive, but I'll explain in a minute why it's so important. Now, your ultimate goal is to get first place or place highly in the match, and the way you do that is obviously doing the objective. So in Battle Royale, it's about living longer and getting more kills. In Plunder, it's about earning money. So the more cash you get, the higher you and your team is going to place, and therefore the better you're going to do overall. So your primary goal is going to be earning as much money as you can in the game. Now, it may sound common sense and you may think, great, I'll just run into Plunder, but it can be difficult sometimes, and you can run into lots of enemies. It can be really frustrating and you can die and obviously not do very well. But there is a really easy way, and it frustrates me that no one ever talks about it because it is really good. So we're going to talk about that now. So what you want to do is obviously, like I say, find an area of the map where there's very few players. Obviously it can be teammates there, but if you're around other enemies in groups, they are going to be a risk to killing you, and also, like I say, they'll steal your loot boxes, money, all that stuff. So you want to be in your own area, and you just want to keep moving to stay ahead and open as many crates as you can, and also going into different rooms will allow you to find piles of cash on the floor, on rooftops, on shelves, and different places that people haven't been to, as well as opening those loot crates. So that's one aspect that you need to do, and like I say, keep moving to new areas once you've cleared out a whole location. Just be as quick as you can at finding these loot crates, using the sound to be guided to where there is loot crates that you can hear. At the same time, if you find or have a cash deposit balloon, obviously use those, or if you're near a cash deposit site, you can use those as long as there's no enemies nearby, so that you don't lose the money if you die, because that's important. Obviously, if you die, you'll lose the money, and then you'll be further behind in the game because you lost that money. So do try and keep ahead and push for your team to be as good as you can compared to the other teams, so you can try and win. Like I say, also keep an eye out for cash piles on the ground in unsearched areas like rooftops, unvisited rooms, on shelves, that kind of thing, and look for money near dead players, and obviously try and kill as many enemies as you can that you come across to get more cash and more XP from that as well. So money's a really important thing. The other thing you can do is do a few contracts if you can along the way while opening loot crates. So for example, the safe cracker contracts require you to open 3 safes, and they show you where they are. Obviously you can get good stuff like money out of them. Other ones like secure intel are quite good, so just do whatever contracts you can that will get you money and XP. Most wanted are pretty good, but obviously they're not in the game right now. They may come back, we don't know. And you basically want to just keep doing as much as you can to get the most money, kills, looting, contracts complete as you can as fast as possible. Work with your teammates if they are helpful, because obviously teamwork is important for this. It would be helpful if your team gets kills and does contracts or things while you're looking for money, so you can work together to get as much money as you can. And obviously you want to try and get a few kills as well, because you want to boost all of the bonuses at the end of the game. So there's ones for like looting, for kills, for money earned, placement bonus if you do better in the match, that kind of thing. So all those things together will get you a bigger bonus of XP, and therefore you're going to get more Battle Pass progression at the end of it. So it's basically trying to do as much as you can in Battle Royale, but the main thing you want to focus on is opening those loot crates, because that will get you a lot of money, which will get you to number 1 or as high as you can in as short a time as possible. Now, if you get first place, you do get a lot of XP. Sometimes it's a region sort of 40,000-50,000 XP, depending on the match. It can be more, it can be less, but there's a lot of bonuses on offer, so do try and push as much as you can by doing contracts and all these other things, going to different areas around the map, that kind of thing. Don't forget, obviously, that the pre-game lobby will get you kills and XP as well, so try and get as many kills as you can in the pre-game lobby. And at the same time, make sure you're doing challenges as well. So your daily challenges, camo challenges, the Season 4 calling card challenges, and then try and overlap these as well. So try and do as much as you can, because this will get you more XP as well. So that's how to do it for Warzone. It sounds kind of a bit wishy-washy, but if you do that method, it's really, really good. You're going to get a ton of Battle Pass tokens really fast, so I'd highly recommend it. The other thing I would recommend, so that's for Battle Royale. What about if you're playing something like DMZ? Well, it's a bit of a similar strategy, but you just basically want to kind of spawn in, ideally with teammates or friends that can you can communicate with and they can help you do stuff, but if not, it's not essential. Just don't run and gun about the map or you'll die quite easily. So what you want to do is try and boost the amount of XP you earned from each aspect of the game. So the first thing is players revived. If you see anyone that goes down, make sure you're reviving them. Also make sure you're opening supply drops, so if you see them drop throughout the map, or you can go to pick them up. They're an orange symbol on the map and they've got red smoke when you go near them. You just have to hold square X to open it. Alternatively, if you can't see any, you can activate a SAM site and that will shoot a plane down, which will, give you a supply drop. So there are ways to get them, which is good, and they've often got good items in it as well. AI kills, make sure you're killing as many enemies as you can, so obviously make sure you've got a good weapon, make sure you're going to lots of areas with hot spots of enemies, but obviously don't put yourself right in the face of danger or you might die. Make sure you're opening tons of loot containers, like we said, similar for Battle Royale. So go to areas where there's lots of them, go to areas where there's stashes and lots of boxes, and again be guided by the noises you can hear. The humming noise of a loot crate is a good sound. The other thing, which is fairly simple but can give you a lot of XP as well, is the points of interest on the map. So each point of interest, so like an area like Al Mazrah City or Said City, whatever it might be, all those areas will get you XP just for going to that area. It will say, plus 500 XP visited like Al Mazrah City or whatever it might be. So if you're in a vehicle, try and go to different areas briefly. Just popping into them will get you XP just for visiting it. So that's quite good as well to kind of get you to start exploring more. Other things like side missions, so UAV towers, there's loads of them across the map. They're really easy to do. You literally just go up to it, hold square X, and then you've turned on a UAV tower. That will get you a bit of XP. Similarly, capturing a missile site, like a SAM turret, that will be good as well. There'll be enemies that come along so you can get kills. You can then capture it as well, which will, give you XP. And then if you down that plane and get supply drops, you'll get more XP. So that's really good. The other main thing is contracts. Contracts is a really easy way to get more XP and more money in the game. So just make sure you're doing contracts. Ones I like are ones like secure supplies, where you get loads of cool gear so you can survive longer, get more kills, get more money, all that stuff. But at the same time, it's sort of high reward, low risk, because all you got to do is open 3 supply boxes, similar to like a scavenger contract. But it just shows you where these good supply boxes are with good stuff in them. And a lot of those areas also have other loot boxes, more money, etc. So make sure you're making use of the contracts like secure supplies or whatever the contract might be. And then finally, another important aspect is exfilling. You get a bonus of all of this for exfilling. So don't risk going just to do one more contract or to get one more bit of money compared to exfilling. It's always better to exfil. So make sure you know where your exfil sites are on the map. Make sure you don't go to one that's really busy or you might die, and make sure you're sort of well covered for that. So what I normally like to do is get in a vehicle, call in the helicopter, then drive around in that vehicle, knocking over enemies and, just kind of driving around the area. So I'm not just sat in one place and all the enemies are rushing to me trying to kill me. I'm just driving around that area, and then when the helicopter's nearby, I'll then drive back and get in the helicopter. And that's, I find, a better way rather than just sitting there, otherwise I might die. So make sure you're exfilling, and if you do all those things together, you will get a ton of XP. DMZ is really, really fast. And the thing is with DMZ, if you can survive towards the end, close to when the radiation zone starts expanding, that's a long match, and that will easily get you over 1 battle pass token, maybe close to 2, depending on how well you do in the game. So it's really important to be doing those things and don't take them for granted. So overall, which kind of modes are better? Well, it doesn't really matter what one. You can do either Battle Royale or DMZ. I would say Plunder's better in the sense that it's just easier. Just go into a game. There's no setup needed. You don't need to worry about losing your stuff or dying to AI. It's kind of easier to just go in and open those supply boxes. But, DMZ is very good too if you can get a good loadout, but it can be more tricky. So it just depends what is better for you and what you'd prefer, really. They're both good, so either of them are fine. But if you do either of those methods, you are going to be getting a ton of Battle Pass tokens. So it's not just about jumping into Battle Royale and just doing whatever, or just jumping into DMZ. It's doing all of those things together to increase your bonuses that will really count. So I hope you guys found this useful. If you did, be sure to leave a like. Check out my other Season 4 guides, like how to earn Battle Pass tokens while you're AFK, leveling up weapons fast, DMZ faction mission guides, that kind of thing. And make sure to subscribe subscribe by clicking the bell icon to stay up to date with all my latest MW2 and Warzone videos. But thank you so much for watching, hope you found it useful, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.